Hello, everybody. My name is Jacob, and I like sports, and welcome to another edition of JK Sports. And today, I'm bringing you guys my very first soccer video, my very first video covering the English Premier League. And unfortunately, league's about over with. We only got 6 games remaining this season, and Liverpool have already been crowned the champions. However, it was very nice to see them get whipped 4-0 the other night. But the most interesting part of the league remaining is who's going to finish in those Champions League spots. So we have roughly 4 teams that have a shot to get in. Liverpool have already made it, of course, winning the league. Manchester City have already made it because of they're that high up in points. So we have 4 teams now competing for those remaining 2 spots. So in this order, it will be Leicester City at 55 points, Chelsea 54 points, Manchester United and Wolves are both at 52 points, 5th and 6th. However, the goal differential for Manchester United is the reason why they've gotten the advantage. So most years, it's cut and dry. 1 through 4 get into the Champions League. Champions League, of course, is the league, well, the tournament where you take all the best sides from Europe from the previous season, put them into one big tournament during the season. And normally for the English League, 1 through 4 get in cut and dry. However, Manchester City this year are facing a possible ban from the Champions League due to financial fair play rules, where they spent too much money, didn't pay out the same amount of money, didn't it's really technical. It's really all about the books, and currently they're under ban for it. Possibly they're trying to appeal that. However, I don't see that likely as it actually gets overturned. So, considering they're probably going to be out, that allows a 5th team to come in their place, which could currently be by Manchester United. So, you look at the remaining schedule of all 4 of those teams. Leicester, in my opinion, have the hardest they have to go to Arsenal, they have to play against Spurs, and they have to play against Manchester United. Chelsea then have to play Sheffield United, Liverpool, Wolves. Manchester United have to play Leicester City, Crystal Palace, Southampton. A lot easier. And Wolves finish off also playing Arsenal, playing Sheffield United as well, and playing Chelsea. So you see a few of those teams, all those teams at least play one amongst those teams. So considering the form, considering the schedule remaining, I'm not trying to be biased. However, I do see Manchester United having the easiest path in. Our hardest game is our very last game against the season, playing against Leicester, which could knock them out and get us in there. As well as we have a very easy path playing Crystal Palace, Southampton, playing Bournemouth this Saturday, who is fighting just to stay alive in the Premier League. And you look at our form, 15 games unbeaten. Ever since Bruno Fernandes came into the side, it's rejuvenated it. The energy's been there. It's really been fun to see. And conversely, Leicester, even though they're in 3rd place, even though they still have the most points of the remaining teams, I see them having the most difficult time getting to that last Champions League spots, because not only do they have the hardest schedule, but ever since we came back from this break, they've only taken 2 points. They've only scored 2 goals since we came back from the coronavirus break, of course. So I still can see them getting in. They do have the leg up as it stands right now. Shout out to West Ham from beating Chelsea the other day, and also the very same day, Leicester losing to Everton. That's what made this race so close. Now, I was looking at things as they stood before. I was expecting Leicester to go 5 points clear of United, or 6 points clear of United, and Chelsea going 4 or 5 points clear of United. However, with both of them losing, this brings us really back right into the picture, and it's really nice to see as a United fan that things are finally turning around and becoming more positive. The team feels good. The team feels like it wants to play as a team rather than just people out there just waiting for the 90 minutes to get up. So, hoping we get in. And I may say, if we don't get in via 5th place, 4th place, 3rd place even, or let's say Manchester City doesn't get banned, there's still a possible way that both us, Manchester United, and Wolves can get into that last Champions League spots. We still are in the Europa League. As you know, you win the Europa League, get into the Champions League. It requires you to play out extra games, and you don't want to rely on winning a major European tournament to get yourself into the Champions League. However, if that's how you have to do it to get in, that's how you have to do it to get in. So, I just want to speak a little bit real quickly. Like, I've spoken a lot about the Dolphins, how happy I'm to be a Dolphins fan right now. I'm so happy to be a Miami Heat fan right now. But just as much, I'm just as excited to be a Manchester United fan right now. Like I said previously, ever since Bruno Fernandes came into the side, he's brought some spark, brought some energy, brought a position that we really needed, which is that cam position, the number 10 position. And the likes of Andreas Pereira, who, I mean, he's either shooting the ball up into the upper deck or has a spectacular goal in him once in a while. However, it's more the former than the latter. He's given us what we needed. He enjoys playing for the team. He enjoys winning, and he's really good. I can't lie. He's got, I think, 6 or 7 goals ever since he came in January, which is the highest amount of any Manchester United player since then. Paul Pogba, someone who, I mean, I got his jersey here somewhere. A few months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, it seemed very likely that it was going to be gone. It seemed very likely that he wanted to leave. Now that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has taken over the team as manager, he's rejuvenated the team with signings like Bruno Fernandes, signings like last summer with center back Harry Maguire, right back Aaron Wan-Bissaka. The team feels really good, and I think that's what Paul Pogba hated most about the team before, was that under Jose Mourinho, it was such a negative, lethargic play style. It wasn't about attacking. Like, you look at Spurs yesterday, once they go down 3-0, they couldn't really produce. They scored a goal at the end, but Jose Mourinho's teams aren't set up to be an aggressive attacking team. They're a team that's set up to play very defensive, try to look on the counter attack, and over the last 4 or 5 years, from now with Spurs and before with United, it seems the tactics of the rest of the world have surpassed Mourinho's tactics. He hasn't caught up with the aggressive play style that teams now are trying to look for, which is why Spurs have now even dropped beyond Arsenal, who we've been making fun of all season, to, I believe, 9th place, and surely out of the Champions League spot, which is really a shame because that stadium is absolutely beautiful that they just built, have the NFL games there, and hoping to have Champions League games there. However, this next season, finding that unlikely. But assuming Manchester United go out and add a right winger such as Jadon Sancho, or defensive midfielders such as Sal Niguez from Atletico Madrid, that could really allow us to fight for the title even as soon as next season. Look at our form ever since January. Now, we hit a rough patch to begin the calendar year. Lost against Burnley, I believe, 2-0. And I was fearful that Solskjaer wasn't the guy for the job, that he'd honestly be fired within the next few weeks at that point, back in January. Ever since February 1st, we've gone on 15 games unbeaten, 11 wins, 4 draws, only conceding 4 goals, I believe, during that time period. It's been such fun football to watch. Football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. It's been so fun to watch. It's been exciting. It's been high-paced. It's been goal-scoring, as well as not conceding much goals. Now, to the games we dropped points in, draws, 1-1 draws, both to Everton and Spurs, we would have won those games if it were not for goalkeeper errors. However, David De Gea is still one of the best in the world. Maybe he could replace him next season with Dean Henderson whenever he comes back from loan. But all in all, it is very exciting for me to be a Manchester United fan right now. And it's going to be really exciting to see how the Champions League ends up. Will Leicester get in? Chelsea, Manchester United, Wolves? Surely at least two. 2 of those teams are at least going to get in. You got Sheffield United coming in behind, Arsenal, Tottenham. They still have a chance. However, they're all 3 of those teams are 5 points or more behind in the standings. So it's unlikely that those teams would come forward to try to compete, especially since Sheffield already lost, I think, 2 games since they came back. They just beat Spurs to boost them back up. However, I don't believe it's going to be enough. So my prediction for the remainder of the season is that I believe Leicester's poor run of football is gonna continue. I believe Chelsea are going to surpass them, maybe even as soon as this weekend. And Manchester United is not too far behind. We've got a really easy schedule, and because of the easy schedule, I do believe we'll at least claim 4th position, which allows us to not rely on the Manchester City ban, and also allows us to not rely on that Europa League Cup. So, hopefully we can get in, and hopefully it's a very entertaining reign of the season. Soccer was the first league to come back, Soccer was the very first sport. European soccer was the very first sport to come back. It's been very fun for me to watch. Even if you guys don't necessarily enjoy soccer, this might be the time for you to try to start watching, try to get into it, because we still got nothing else. And I really do believe, in my opinion, outside of football, it's the most entertaining sport in the world. It's my favorite sport in the world to watch outside of football. And I believe if more people got into it, it'd be more socially accepted to like soccer. And I'm sure everybody would enjoy it. Now, thank you all very much for watching. If you know much about soccer, please let me know in the comments below. How do you think the Premier League is going to finish? We already saw Liverpool winning the league. Do you think City's ban will be upheld? Do you think Manchester United is going to make it into the final Champions League spots? And what are your predictions for next season? Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Or maybe not. Now bye-bye.